Welcome everybody to the first Fullback Friday of the 2026 NFL season. It feels so good to say that. It feels so good to be back. If you don't know who I am by now, my name is David. I also go by MillerFootball. And on this channel, if you weren't already aware, you will find Fullback content every single week throughout the 2026 NFL season. Whether it be long form, short form, it's going to be here. You're going to find it. So if you like fullbacks like I do, you definitely want to stick around and subscribe. But in the meantime, our first installment here for this season, we're going to keep it short and simple. We're going to be talking about 5 plays from 5 different players through week 1 of the preseason. And these 5 plays and 5 players are very special because these are our rookie fullbacks. That's right, we're talking about the rookies, the fresh blood at the fullback position in the NFL. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in here and start out with a pair of fullbacks that have very big shoes to fill. The first of which is, of course, Max Preseason of the Minnesota Vikings. If you're tuned into fullback play, you've probably heard of this guy. Came out of Michigan this year, was drafted by Minnesota, and obviously Preseason has very big shoes to fill here because he is filling in for C.J. Ham, a legendary fullback who's been one of the best in the league for the last 10 years. And while I don't think Preseason has the versatility Ham did with the ball in his hands, I do think he has a lot of the blocking chops. He is a maniac. If you watched a couple months ago, I uploaded a reaction to some of his highlights. Dude's crazy. He is a true maniac for the fullback position. And a lot of people have been talking about him for the wrong reasons this week because he did have one unfortunate low light, and we're just going to leave that at that. Call it a low light and move on. But the rest of his reps were pretty good. He looked in tune with the offense. He was calm. He executed his assignments well. He was opening up lanes. He did a good job. And this play right here, I thought was the highlight of the day for him. So we're going to go ahead, watch this one in its entirety, and then we'll run it back and break it down. You'll see this is a handoff to Aaron Jones. Preseason hits the 1-2, opens up the lane, and Jones is going to pick up 18 yards on this play. So let's go ahead, run this one back. You see the Jordan Addison comes in motion. We're running with the ones here. And Preseason's job is pretty straightforward. Lead block for Aaron Jones and take care of this DB right here, right? Jones is going to come out behind you. You just need to open up a lane for him and allow him to get to the second level. However, Preseason is going to notice something on his way. You can see this linebacker right here has the advantage over his teammate, the tight end. I believe it's Josh Oliver still, whoever it is, whoever wears 84 for Minnesota. You can see this defender has tight hand placement inside the tight end's chest. He has a wide base. He is in an ideal position to shed this block quickly. And once Preseason gets closer, you can see the defender is working to shed it. So what's Preseason going to do? He's going to provide a little bit of help and then climb up and pick up his man. So you see right there, gives that little shove, and the tight end there gets in much better positioning, can refit his hands and help open up this lane, which leaves Preseason one-on-one with his man out here, the DB. He does a great job. Hand placement's a little high. Definitely want to have your hands more in the chest than up around the helmet area, but it works out because he still performs our classic back-to-the-back routine. He creates that wall between Aaron Jones and the defender there. Jones is able to break through, and he gets up to the second level, even the third level for an 18-yard pickup. So not the cleanest rep there at the end, but the on-the-fly adjustment to help out the teammate there is exactly what you want to see from the young guy. Admittedly, this DB is just a little bit shorter than Preseason, so Preseason got his hands where he could. Was it in the chest? No. But was it effective? Absolutely. Wasn't a penalty. The ref didn't blow a whistle, and the ref is literally right there. So, hey, good block in my book. He succeeded, helped out on one block, set his own, opened up Aaron Jones, and he was able to spring it for a damn near 20-yard run. So, good job there by the Rook, and obviously with Preseason especially, I'm really excited to see what he does going forward. And Preseason isn't the only guy with big shoes to fill, because this next player has big shoes to fill, both metaphorically and literally. And that player is, of course, Lucas Scott, the rookie out of Army, who is now with the Baltimore Ravens. And if you're watching this video, you know who Baltimore's fullback was last year. It was Patrick Ricard, one of the best in the business. He hightailed it out of town with John Harbaugh, and the two of them and Greg Roman are out running the ball down people's throats in New York now with the Giants, which left the Ravens with a large fullback-sized hole in their heart, and they were able to replace Ricard with a 6'3", 290-pound former offensive lineman who went to one of the service academies. And I will admit, I was not super familiar with Lucas Scott before this game. I knew that Baltimore had a converted offensive lineman fullback player, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch Army offensive line tape last year, so I didn't know what Lucas Scott was capable of. And this play right here, I thought was a pretty good job. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. Just like the last one, we'll watch in its entirety and then run it back with the tape here. So we'll go ahead and have the Baltimore Ravens snap this ball, hand this ball to our boy Adam Randall, big fan here on the channel, and he's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. But that touchdown would not have been possible without Lucas Scott. So we can see Scott here lined up as a tight end. I know, talking about fullbacks, he's lined up at tight end. This is the reality of the modern fullback. Pat Ricard lined up as a jumbo tight end for the Baltimore Ravens for years, right? If you play fullback, you're going to get reps as a tight end. So Lucas Scott right here does a very good job of coming across the line here, and his assignment is 36. Just pick up 36, take care of him, prevent him from getting to Adam Randall. Pretty straightforward. Does a good job of getting his hands in there and basically carrying 36's momentum. Once you see that he's going to try to cut across your face, you just get your hands in there and you drive him away, which is exactly what Scott does. Utilizes that big old frame of his to create a wall, and then Adam Randall is able to come right in through the space that Lucas Scott left behind and score a touchdown. Those blocks up to the second level, they're no joke, man. Those blocks are important. If you're going to spring a big run, you got to have your guys getting up to the second level like that, and that is exactly what Scott does. You can see he does the fullback classic of throwing up his hands before anybody else for the touchdown once the running back crosses the goal line. It's a good job. It's not your traditional lead through the eye type of block. It's not even like what we just saw from Bredesen, but taking care of that DB right there was key. Adam Randall doesn't get into the end zone if 36 is sitting there waiting for him. So, this touchdown, not possible without Lucas Scott. Not the most physically demanding block, but a very important one nonetheless. Now, if you're looking at that last play and saying, yeah, that was cool, but I want to see more physicality. I want to see a fullback who wants to hit people. I want to see an old school mean SOB. I've got great news. I've got a player to introduce you to. This is DJ Herman, the UDFA out of San Diego State, now playing for the Miami Dolphins. This guy has the juice. I like this guy a lot. And I know Dolphins fans probably aren't a super big fan of him right now because, number one, he's got very big shoes to fill. This guy's coming in for Alec Ingold, who was a staple of Miami's offense over the last couple years. And he hightails it out of there, goes to LA with Mike McDaniel. They want to go to the coast. And now you've got Herman stepping in. And in his first game, he dropped a pass and he was penalized for a hold. We're going to talk about that hold because I think that call was really, really bad. And as for the drop, it happens. This is this guy's first time playing fullback in an NFL game. He is a converted linebacker. You know what they say, if he had hands, he'd play offense. That's why he's playing defense. So he's kind of learning how to have hands. I'm not going to hold that one drop against him. He'll get better there. But where he doesn't need to get better is the intensity, the physicality, and the IQ when blocking. I really liked what I saw here. And this play right here that we're going to start out with, because we are going to look at two plays considering one of them is a hold. This play right here is the hold, and I think it's a really, really bad call. I think the referees really missed on this one. And we got to remember, it's preseason for them too, right? They're going to make some bad calls. And this is an example of one. So let's go ahead and take a look. Herman is going to lead through the B gap there, take care of that linebacker, and open up for Ollie Gordon to pick up 11. They throw the flag, call a hold on him. I think that's a load of hogwash. So let's go ahead and take a look here. And you can see right away, he readjusts a little bit. Looks like he's going to go to the outside shoulder, which causes this linebacker to step out. Kane Medrano here, the second-year player, causes him to step out. So then he's going to cut back inside. And that causes Medrano to hesitate just a little bit. And that tiny little bit of hesitation is going to give Ollie Gordon a way bigger lane out here, because that little bit of hesitation causes him to stop moving. And that, again, lets Gordon bounce this to the outside, get a ton of room there. And then you've got Herman able to get his shoulder on the linebacker's hip here. And they're calling this a hold. He initiates this contact when the linebacker is facing sideways. That is legal. That is entirely legal. If he is turning around as Herman is blocking him, then that's on him, right? And it's not like Herman is like wrapped up around him. You do see the hand here out in front right about here. You do see this hand right here, but it is only wrapped around him because, again, the linebacker moved himself in the middle of the block. That doesn't make it a hold. And as soon as Herman realizes what's going on, he pulls that hand away and he goes back to driving into him. This is not a hold, this is a fucking pancake. Like, this bothers me so bad because now you've got Dolphins fans who aren't going to watch the All-22, understandably so, it's not for everybody. And they're going to say, yeah, that rookie fullback, he held in this game, he shouldn't make the team. It's bullshit. It wasn't a hold. It was a good block. And look, Medrano, he has no chance of getting to Ollie Gordon. Gordon wouldn't have this lane out here, he wouldn't have all this space if it wasn't for that little bit of a hezzy step from DJ Herman. And then for Herman to further bury Medrano in the ground to the point where he can't even get a hand on Ollie Gordon, this is a really good job by the rookie. And instead, it's going to be viewed as a net negative because of the refs calling a bad penalty. So, pisses me off if you can't tell. On top of that, though, I just want to acknowledge real quick, DJ Herman's fullback aesthetic is sick. You got the wrapped up forearms, white gloves, elbow pad. This guy's one of them ones. I'm a big fan of DJ Herman. And like I said, this isn't the only play we're going to take a look at. I thought this was his best block, but his most exciting block was definitely this next play. And here is that play where we're not going to spend a ton of time on it, honestly, because it is fairly straightforward. You have Herman lined up in the eye, and he just takes a player out of the play. Pretty straightforward. Wasn't like a block in the direction of the running back. It's always important when you full-on take a defender out of the play. That is a big help because then it becomes 10 on 10 as opposed to 11 on 11. But, you know, away from the running back, whatever. That's why that wasn't the main block for this part. But I still want to show you DJ Herman absolutely leveling Sonny Styles. And it's such a, comedic collapse as well. Because you see Herman leads with the shoulder, puts his arms down, which is a big distinction. There's no chance for him to wrap around. Not going to get called for a hold here. And he just knows low man wins. That's the key to the game. Low man wins. You get lower than the guy you're blocking, you're going to win. And he gets substantially lower. Look at how much of Sonny Styles is up over top of Herman. It's like his entire, waist up body ends up getting folded over top of Herman because he hits him in the waist and just boom, crumples him to the ground. Doesn't know what hit him. Again, Achane runs the other way, but hell of a block there by Herman. That's the aggression you want to see from a guy like this. A former linebacker playing fullback. He's probably gotten his bell rung by a fullback or two in his day, and then on this play, he gets to return the favor, light up Sonny Styles, and probably impress the coaches along the way. And that'll bring us to the other fullback that was actually drafted this year in Riley Nowakowski from Indiana, who went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he is settling in pretty well into that Connor Hayward role. Hayward obviously left, went to the Raiders. And Nowakowski, I think, can be even better than Hayward was. I think they are similar players, but Nowakowski has a higher ceiling as a pass catcher, which it would seem Pittsburgh's going to value. He had 2 red zone targets in this game, converted 1 into a touchdown. And this play right here is going to be a very important one to help set up a touchdown later on this drive. So we'll go ahead, take a look, and then we will break it down after the fact. Before we actually roll the tape on this play, I want to let you all know that this is our block of the week. Forgot to mention that when we were doing the actual breakdown, so that's on me. I'm a little bit out of practice. It's been a couple months, but either way, block of the week, Riley Nowakowski. Let's dive into it. So you can see here, Rudolph is going to bring him in motion. He's going to pivot, pick up 57 there, and it doesn't look super pretty, but he does just enough to give Lou Nichols a chance to bounce out here. So let's go ahead and take another look at this one. So Nowakowski pivots, and boom, right there, you hit the inside shoulder of this linebacker, with the hope being that you'll be able to open up Lou Nichols to run in right behind you, right? Unfortunately, that's not the case. There's a little bit of congestion here, so to speak. 58 McDuffie blows up a guard. You've got favorable position for this defender. You've got 27 waiting. So Nowakowski does a great job of holding his block by all means. He fights his ass off on this play. And you can see at the last second, Nichols is able to locate a cutback lane and run the other way to turn this into a pickup of 6 yards instead of a loss of 3. And Nowakowski, I mean, it's not a pretty rep, but it is a very effective one. He takes a hand to the face right there. You can see this is obviously not ideal for your blocker. He is eating a hand to the chin, but he stays through, fights through that contact, and opens up for Nichols to bounce this one back out. He was the key blocker on this play, making sure that 57 couldn't get into the backfield and get a hold of Nichols, was a great job by Nowakowski. Just looking at it one more time, I mean, he fights his ass off on this rep. and it opens up that cutback lane, like I said. And then again, later on, they reward him with a red zone opportunity. He makes a one-handed grab, finds himself in the end zone for the touchdown. Nichols ends up scoring a 1-yard rushing touchdown on this drive later. It was a good outing from Pittsburgh's players. I actually talked about another one of their players in a video I uploaded yesterday, where I talked about 10 players in the preseason that really stood out to me. You can go check that out. We shouted out Drew Aller. He played very well. So if you're interested in that, check it out. But for now, Riley Nowakowski, the future looks bright for him at fullback. And that takes us to the final player we're going to talk about in this video. And friends, it is with tremendous honor and joy that I bring you the news that the Chicago Bears have a fullback on their roster. That player is Hayden Large, the UDFA out of Iowa, who, yes, when you look at the Bears depth chart, will be listed as a tight end. But those of us who have been watching Large since he was at Iowa know that he was a fullback and a tight end there. And in the NFL, it's clear the Bears, at least for now while he is on the roster, want to use him in a similar fashion. Now, will Large make the final 53? I don't know. Maybe he makes it as that tight end 4 because Chicago is leaning heavy into heavy personnel this year. Would be awesome to see Large get the nod there and make the final 53. Hopefully he can play well on special teams. I admittedly didn't watch his special teams tape this week, so I don't know. I was just focused on the fullback stuff because, you know, I was on a time crunch, wanted to make a video, etc., etc. But this play right here is awesome, and just based off this play alone, I hope he makes the roster. Well, this play and the fact that he can play fullback. But they've got him back there in the eye, rocking the number 43. This man is a fullback in heart and spirit. So let's go ahead, take a look at this rep, and then we will run it back and break it down. We're blocking for Britton Brown on this play. We're going to pick up the linebacker and bury him in the dirt. So let's take a look at this one. A little bit of a closer look. Pretty straightforward here. We're leading through the B gap. Got to take care of this linebacker and open up for the running back to come behind you. That is exactly what's going to happen. You see, he does a great job of engaging with that shoulder of the linebacker, stands him up. Now, unfortunately, because of this right here, the running back is going to have to bounce away from Hayden Large, so we're not going to get that beautiful, like, highlight clip where Large blows up a linebacker and then the running back comes through right behind him. But this is still a very good rep. You make contact with that linebacker, stand him up, keep your feet driving, and bury him over top of his teammate. What do they call that? Tabletopping somebody. You can see one of his teammates, number 40 there, gets dropped to the ground. Excuse me. I'm so excited. I'm stumbling over my words. And you bury him over top of him. Get the pancake. It's a good block there by Hayden Large. Just awesome, awesome stuff there. Love seeing a fullback get a pancake block. He had good blocks from the tight end spot and the fullback spot in this game. Really hoping he makes the Bears' final 53. I cannot put into words how badly I want him to be a Bear and be the fullback that we have not had since Kari Blasingame a couple years ago. But with that said, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure to let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts were on these players. Are you excited for these players? Anything like that, I'd love to hear from you. Also, any ideas you might have for Fullback Friday, please let me know. This is a variety series. It's not just film breakdowns. It is whatever comes to mind with the fullback position. I love making fullback content, so if you have any ideas, if you have any, things that you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to talk ball with you. Also, make sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed, because it does help out the channel a ton. It shows your support. It shows you care, and I really do appreciate it. And also make sure to subscribe for more NFL content coming your way throughout the rest of the season and beyond. I'm so excited for football to be back, and more specifically, I am excited for fullback play to be back, so we can have those weekly Fullback Friday uploads. Whether they be long form, short form, whatever they are, they will be on this channel every single week, so make sure to check back for them. But above all else, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it, because you're all wonderful people, and you truly do deserve it.
But it wasn't there in time, but I have never seen anything like that. In all my days, I have never seen anything like that.